Hi, let's look at the specs of 4 my rackets. All right, so let me explain what you're looking at. I have my racket here. I have 6 of them, but I selected these 4, which are numbered on each of my rackets. In the second column is the weight, and because I customize my frames, the number that I'm shooting for is always at 320 in grams. And if I'm plus or minus 1, then I'm okay with that. So you can see in this first column, 2 of my rackets came out at 321 and the other 2 at 320. Now 4 months later, this is what I got. So you can see that there's a drop in all 4 of these rackets. You got a difference of 2 grams in these first 3, and this one only 1 gram. But let's take a look at the swing weight. So my target is 310 whenever I, again, customize my frames. So I got that on all 4 rackets initially. But today I got 305 on this one, 305 here. This one dropped 9 units to 301, and then a 304 here. So although I custom matched these rackets to my specs, why do you think they're off? And why do you think the weight and the swing weight is lower? Well, if you watched one of my previous videos titled Bumper Guard Replacement, Protection and Performance, you should know the answer. In this video, I'll reveal the answer to this question and show you how I'll address this common occurrence. All right, let's get into it. All right, so let's talk about the wear occurrence. And if you take a closer look at my frames, you'll notice the wear at the top of the head. I'm hard on my racket, so this wear occurrence may not happen to the same degree to other people's frames, but eventually it will occur to all rackets. Now this occurrence of wear does cause weight loss, and where there's weight loss, there will be a loss of swing weight. All right, so here's how I'm gonna remedy this situation or this occurrence. First I wanna take a look at the bumper guard. Well, I knew I have to change it. So what I wanna do is remove it, and after I remove it, I'm actually gonna weigh it to see. I'm just kind of curious to find out what the weight is after 4 months of play compared to a new one. I will be replacing all the parts, all the entire grommet strip, but it's mainly the bumper guard that's worn. So what I'm gonna do is just weigh it here, and then I'll just compare it. I'm just curious to find out what the difference is. So in grams, this is coming out at 8 grams, and we'll take a new one here. And this one's at 9 grams, so it's a 1 gram difference in weight. So I'll go ahead and install the rest of this grommet strip, and I'm gonna take a swing weight to find out what the difference is. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is racket number 5, the one that came out at 301. All right, let's take a look at the swing weight. And remember, this is the one that was at 301. So, and it dropped 2 grams in that 4-month period. So I'm gonna take a look at the swing weight first. So I brought it up to 303, which is 2 units. And let's take a look at the weight. And so the weight is coming in at 321, which means that the weight is already at the weight that I wanted. Normally I want it at 320, but it's already at 321. I'm just gonna double check it. Yeah, it's at 321. But what is actually more important to me is the swing weight. So even if I have to, in this case, increase it by 1 more gram, I'll do so. But I want to get that swing weight up to 310 or at least 309. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to remove the lead tape because it's pretty banged up anyway. I'm going to replace it but increase it by 1 gram. But I'm also going to move the location of the lead tape up. So right now, if I'm counting from the center hole from the top and count down. 1, 2, 3. It's right now it's 7. So what I'm gonna do is increase the weight by 1 gram, and I'm also gonna move it up a couple of holes, so like to the 5th one, and then see where that comes out in terms of the swing weight. I'm also gonna be using a sample lead tape, so then I don't have to stick it on and take it off and risk the chance that it's not gonna work out. So let me go ahead and start working on that. All right, so you see me there removing the existing lead tape, and I'm gonna actually weigh it so I have a starting point, because what I wanna do is increase the weight by 1 gram. So I'm gonna clean off the frame, just getting all the residue off the frame there. I'm gonna use some alcohol to clean that off. And after this, I'm gonna bring up a container onto the table with sample lead tape strips. And I originally had 3-inch lead tape strips, 1/2 inch width, doubled up. So what I found was my 3.5 inch lengths of lead tape, and it did bring it up 1 gram. So what I'm gonna do next is place it onto the frame using Scotch tape, and I'm gonna count the amount of holes down from the center, and it was 5 down that I'm gonna move it up to. And then once I get it onto the frame, I'm gonna check the weight to make sure that it still stays within that 1 gram. Nope, I guess I'm checking the swing weight first. So I wanted to see what that came out. And it did come out kind of low, actually. I think it was at 307. And the weight was 1 gram. But what I decided to do is I really wanted to get that swing weight up to 310 if possible. So I got 2 4-inch lengths of lead tape, and I actually brought it down to the 4th hole at this point. So I'm really trying to get that swing weight to reach that target. And I'm gonna weigh it, I believe. No, I am weighing it. So at this point it's at 322, and the swing weight came out at 309. All right, so this is the finishing touches where I use a 1/4 inch lead tape, and I'm measuring it in 8-inch lengths, because what I'm eventually gonna do is cut that in half and double it up. So with the 1/4 inch, I can run the lead tape on each side of the grommet strip. Now after I cut each one, I'm doubling it up right there. So I'm just lining it up, making sure it's nice and even. I'm using a wheel roller right there to make sure that it's nice and flat. And then here I have the lead tape, the sample lead tape that I'm taking off. And I'll go ahead and install the final lead tape strips on, again, each side of the grommet strip. All right, so here's the final check. It's coming in at 322, and the swing weight should be at 309 at this point. So yeah, it's 309. So I wanted to go ahead and, I forgot. I'm making sure that I really get the lead tape down onto the frame. So I'm using the wheel roller to just make sure it stays down in place. And it gets it really nice and flat too, so you want to make sure that. All right, so here we go. There it is, the final product right there. All right, so let's look at the specs of my 4 rackets. If you look at the weight column, you'll notice that 3 of my rackets came in at 321, which is within that plus or minus 1. Racket number 5 came out at 322, but I can live with that extra gram. The main thing was a swing weight. So if you take a look at the 4 rackets, 3 of them came out at 309 and 1 at 310. So that's within range. I admit the content and the application of this video is not for the average player or client. However, if you're picky and hard on your rackets, or know someone who is, this could help perfect the performance of their rackets. Thanks for watching. Happy stringing. And let your strings play.